Okay, I'll stop messing around, but please give a big, huge Iskums welcome to our wonderful guest of honor, Dr. Karl Jenkin.
Jenkin!
So I've designed it like it's tea with Karl. We're having tea with glasses on. You've got to cross your legs like TV hosts. So yes, anyway, Karl, have some water and some tea.
I'll open the bottle so I'm prepared. Thank you.
I'm giving Karl Jenkins water. Can I keep that plastic bottle with me, please? Okay, well first off, am I going to have some water too? It's going to be the same as this.
Thirsty water.
Give yourself water.
Okay. So, we started about a year ago talking to Karl about coming over to work with us on this festival, and he was the most receptive person to anything that we had suggested about it. And sometimes when you have these really famous, really busy, hectically busy musicians, it sometimes is difficult for them to commit to something or be enthusiastic about something like this, which is essentially a school's production and whatever it might be. But you were really receptive to it. For that, I personally want to thank you on behalf of this.
No, it's a pleasure. It seemed a very exciting idea, the whole project and what you're doing is fantastic. So I was only too happy to accept and come over. And I'm looking forward eventually to the next couple of days.
Brilliant, and it's great for us to have you, isn't it? Now, we sent out a piece of paper today on the students.
So I understand, yeah.
Out of schools. And we asked for 2 questions per school. And I said to Karl when he arrived, do you want to have a look at the questions prior to coming in here? And he said, no. Basically just throw them at me. So, here it goes.
It's easier if you're not prepared in a way. I mean, in another way it isn't, I suppose.
You haven't seen some of these questions. So, we start off, and this one, first one, an anonymous one from Western Academy of Beijing. So I just going to tell them, when I have a name of the student, I'll just say the name and then the school they're from.
Yeah, okay.
Why use a made-up language? How do you decide which words and sounds to use in each phrase? Do they have references to real languages and words?
No.
Next question.
So I think here we're referring to the Ideas project I did many years ago. And at the time I was writing music for television commercials, and I had this idea of creating a piece of music that was essentially based on classical music, but where the vocal sound was more akin to ethnic music or third world music in vague terms. Anyway, vocally not like European Western classical music. And the idea came to me to use the voice purely as an instrument, with essentially singing nonsense words. I say nonsense, and that it's in the real sense of the word, in that it's no sense, not that it's silly. So the idea came to use, much like people use jazz singers when they scat sing or improvise, they make up words to fit what they're improvising vocally. So it was that kind of approach, more organised, and the idea was that the words would kind of marry the music. It's using the vocal sound or the voice as an instrument, and not as a conveyor or text or a meaning. It's always referred to as language, but of course it isn't a language, because language conveys meaning and messages, but this doesn't. It's just a series of phonetics that are invented. So always with that project, at the aim was the music came first, and the words not just make up things. I mean, it sounds simplistic, and in a way it is. I just think of phrases and words that would kind of marry with the music and create some sense. I had some kind of idea that depending on the mood of the music. Like some of it was very tribal and hard, so then they'd use very hard sounds like ka, ma, ra, very, very aggressive sounds. And then the other contrary to that, the other side of the coin, as it were, with Adi Amos, was a very soft, almost ecclesiastical sound. And that was more like Latin and softer consonants. So that's how it happened. And there were other elements in Adi Amos as well, like the percussion, and used as a rhythmic impetus rather than as it is orchestrally as for colour. So all those elements went into it, and that's how it came about, really. And I'm using it again on another work I'm writing for soon for the well, I've written it. It's for the cultural Olympiad. It's called. You know, the Olympics are in London in 2012, and there's a series of arts things going on. And I've been asked to write a piece by the BBC National Orchestra of Wales, and it's to do with Greek mythology. So instead of using Greek, I've used the Adi Amos approach, like the amended text again, which equates, I mean, it marries well, because that's it's mythological language in a way, this is invented. So that ties in with, you know, the real Greek mythology.
Well, thank you for that. I think I'll have to rip up all these pages, because I think you have to get every copy. But after that goes through. The next one. What would the theme song be to your wife? What would the theme song be from a kid in the British School of Alcabara? That's another anonymous one. Wife is written here. Oh, so you're the anonymous one. Hello. For life then. Let's answer part A and part B. Let's go live first.
You mean a song of mine or any piece of music? Something I wrote, or something someone else wrote. Gosh, that's hard, isn't it?
Don't look at me. What about your early days in the 80s? You were a punk rock band.
Maybe I should have looked at these before I came in.
You were offered. We can come back to it. You can think
my favourite piece, I don't know, my favourite piece of music, the thing that always moves me is the end of a British Strauss opera, Rosenkavalier. There's a three-part trio there. That's, I think, it's the most sublime music ever written. And that was when I did this. There's this program in the UK called Desert Island Discs, where they have a castaway and you choose 8 records, CDs, whatever. And that was one of mine. And that was the one I'd be left with. You only had to choose one. So maybe it's that. But it's difficult because obviously, you know, you want to reflect different periods of your life with different emotions. So, I've a very wide taste in music. But that would do as an answer, I guess.
That's a good answer. Should we approach the song for your wife? What?
Well, it would be the same piece. Because she loves that as well. So it's, you know, it would be that actually. You know.
Right. Did you ever question your ability to succeed?
I never thought, yes, and I mean, I never thought if I am successful, I never thought I would be. I kind of drifted. I never had a master plan about being. I knew I wanted to be a musician, but I didn't know where, when, or what, or how, you know, what field. Because I've been essentially been a musical tourist all my life. I mean, I had the fortunate kind of beginnings that my father was a music teacher, choir conductor, and church organist. So he instilled music in me from a very early age. So I had those kind of foundations and beginnings, but from then on I just kind of drifted. It was purely a process of elimination, like I did music at school. And then I fell in love with jazz when I was a teenager. And when I left the Royal Academy of Music in London, because I didn't like, at that time, which is mid-1960s, the only avenue in what was perceived as being classical music was writing very dissonant atonal music. And we'll all appreciate some sure, but I didn't particularly want to write in that style or way. So jazz appealed to me because jazz was total, still is. Apart from the other kind of virtues it has, like improvisation and the rhythmic feel and the rest of it, it was tonal music. So that's why I went there. What was the question again?
What would the theme song be for your wife? No, Did you ever question your ability to succeed?
Yeah, no. So I was drifted. I mean, it's not really drifted. I was a jazz musician, and I ended up in a band with Soft Machine, which was kind of a crossover progressive rock band. And then I wrote music. I gave her a chance for television commercials.
Do you have Soft Machine up there by any chance?
I hope not.
Sure. What? That's the name of the band. Right, try and spend the next 15 minutes. Go onto the internet. Get me some sounds of Soft Machine, please.
It's very weird.
A trip down memory lane.
I want to listen to that.
Okay, we got the next one. Which composers have had the most influences on your style of composition or writing?
That's really hard to quantify because all I can say is which composers I like. That crosses boundaries. So, in kind of what's perceived as being classical music, it would be, I suppose, mainly the German tradition from, Bach, Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven, the usual chain of events, really, Brahms, Richard Strauss, I love Mahler, Wagner, Mozart, Stravinsky, Bartok. But equally important to be what's the like the American jazz tradition, Miles Davis and his various bands, jazz up to the 1940s, bebop, or right, that wasn't around then, but kind of that era of American jazz. American musical theatre I like, not British so much, and Steely Dan is a band I love, American kind of pop band, I suppose people would refer to call it, but it's very jazz influenced. So Eric Clapton I like a lot, a great deal. So I've always been lucky that I've always resisted categorization. I've always liked music in different spheres, and I've never put music in boxes, which is partly I suppose what I do what I do now, which is like go on to different boxes.
Yeah, I agree with the boxes there 100%. It might be easier to ask you who do you not like?
Who do I like?
Not like.
Who do I not like?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Say everybody, please, Karl, tell us. Again, please.
There's no one I don't like. I don't like. It's just, you get good music and not so good music. And
why is it not so good?
Well, you can answer that. You
can answer for me. Okay, we'll move on. We might come back to that later. From Sophia, South End School, Long Call. What do you think about when you write music?
Well, you don't think about anything other than actually doing it, which is in many ways a technical exercise. It's a process of. People often ask me about inspiration, and I don't. It's something it's a word I don't understand really, because you have to do it every day and do a little bit, and the good bits you keep, and the good bits when it's good it kind of flows. When it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, also, it's a very kind of sniffy, snobby attitude in certain circles, and especially in kind of art circles where people are very precious about it. But some of the great composers of the past, Bach, for example, or Mozart, were essentially they were jobbing composers who worked for someone. In Bach's case, it would be the church. In Mozart's, it would be the prince, or the count, or the emperor. And they were asked to provide a piece by next month. So it was, in their terms, you have to get down and do it. In my mind, what it is, inspiration doesn't commit to the occasion. Otherwise, you never do anything. You never meet deadlines. You have to finish on time. And so that's not probably when I was writing music for media. But if you didn't finish the job, you wouldn't get used, you wouldn't get paid. So it was a livelihood. So. No, you do it every day.
Good. West Island School, Montcalm, Maddie Bowers. What is the secret to your glorious mustache?
When I was 19, or 18, many years ago, when I was a huge jazz fan, in common with a lot of mates of mine, I just opened university at that point. Jazz culture in the States is very fashionable to have a mustache. And lots of jazz musicians have them. So I grew and it's only been off once since. And that was just before I went on holiday to the States with my wife and son. The son was very young then, kind of 3 or 4. So I shaved it off. So only one year it's only without it. I mean, apart from shaving it. And I hated it. I mean, being without it, I mean. So, but by the time I came back, it was back on again. So, I had it since. That was a long time, half a century almost.
I'm sorry, the reason to practice is some of our new answers. I don't want to. Oh, we work for change more than I do. We thought that would be getting back to it. How many instruments do you have?
How many instruments?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say 2, but I don't. I tell you what happened historically. My father taught me the piano when I was 6 or so. So I played the piano. I wasn't particularly, I was fairly good, but not particularly talented. And then I played the recorder when I was 10, I guess.
Go to the recorder.
And then when I went to grammar school, as we were called in the UK, high school, in other circles, or like this one, I suppose, I played the oboe.
The solitary oboe player.
And that was the first instrument I suppose, I would say I was reasonably good at. So now I haven't played the oboe for years. And actually, I was one of the few jazz oboists. There were very few of us globally. There were 2 in America. One guy called Bob Cooper, who played in the Stan Kenton band. He was a tenor saxophone player, but he doubled oboe. And there was another guy called Yusuf Latif, who was, I don't know his American name. Like Mohammed Ali Box, he adopted Muslim faith later in life. Anyway, he was known as Yusuf Latif. He was a tenor player, and he played jazz oboe. And yeah, there were 3 of us. I remember we did the Montreux Jazz Festival in 1973, and he was there as well. It was weird because we were both warming up in adjacent dressing rooms on oboes, and it was quite a rare occurrence in kind of jazz, I suppose.
3 in the world and 2 in the one spot on the same.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So those are the instruments. The oboe was my now I played the piano as a compositional aid, and I played jazz in private.
This is going back to the commission piece. Do you conceive, for a student here at Dulwich College, Beijing, John, do you conceive the idea of your compositions before they're commissioned? For example, did you have the ostinato riff and the theme for celebration in mind before it was commissioned?
No. No. Although I've written quite a few pieces without kind of putting before they feel. But no, nothing specific in mind, no.
What's that? What is that? John, did you find any of that music? Soft Machine? What was the right Soft Machine? Was there another one?
No, but I'm not on every version of the band.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's me, yeah. It's me on piano.
How many years ago? Let's have a quick listen.
This is called The Tale of Tunguesin, I think.
Any memories flooding back? Yeah, if you can get the video footage, tell us, okay? So you can shut it off now. Thank you. Okay. Did you answer the question, what age did you first start composing? Was it 1819, you said?
1819.
Not 1819, no. 18 or 19. Was it 18 or 19? Not the year 1819. I think you did.
Well, when I was a teenager, as I said, the kind of what was perceived as being classical composition and didn't appeal to me. So jazz composition did. So I started writing jazz essentially, and what I had to do academically from academic studies.
From Dulwich College Soul. How's your music developed over the years?
It's it's an impossible question to answer really. I really don't know. Develop's not word. I mean, I just do what I do. And
yeah, language of that. So yeah, sorry, I'm still going through the ones that I just remembered. Because you answered quite well. Is it easier to start with lyrics or melody? From Kevin Hung in Ivy Collegiate, Taiwan.
It depends what it depends what it is, I suppose. The Adios thing, like the celebration I'm doing here, is kind of different, and that's lyrics that is kind of invented, so it's not lyrics per se. When you start, instrumental piece is totally abstract, so you've got a totally clear canvas, of course. If you set in text, then the music has to reflect what the words are saying. You know, if it's happy, the music's happy. If it's sad text, then the music's sad. I mean, that's simplistic, but having text can be stimulating as well. It can give you a kickstart, really.
How does that work if the text doesn't have any specific meaning?
Well, like the idea was thinking.
Yeah, how would you convey
well,
the emotion of it?
The text written as instrumental music, and the text is holding on to it, really. So it's not part of the same process.
Because I know a lot of most students in this room will compose at some point, part of their music education, whatever school that they're in.
Yeah.
And so these questions are that they come to us almost on a weekly basis. What advice, West International School of Shanghai, Hannah Shalstrom? What advice can you give to students who are interested in composition as a career? Don't do it.
No, I wouldn't say that because I was extremely lucky in a way because I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now, up to 15 years ago, I suppose. Because conventional classical music or the kind of the world of that kind of music was a closed door to me really, because I wrote accessible, beautiful music. And in some ways it's like by chance I'm coming around through the back door in Adios. I mean, Adios was pivotal in that it was a one-off in a way. It developed as wanting to write this piece that was Western but more ethnic. But I coincided with the chance to write music for a Jack Lennon commercial, and it had enormous success initially. It created a bit of a stir in the UK when it was shown. In other countries, it was fairly global, the campaign, and people wanted to know what it was. And then Virgin Records approached me. I knew some people there anyway from my history of jazz, and I said, I wondered if I'd make an album out of it, extend it, which I did. And then it became quite well known around the world. So that was kind of pivotal. And then the next thing that happened was the Royal Armouries in the UK, who run the Tower of London, and they have a war museum in Leeds. They wanted me to write a piece, a massive piece for the millennium in 2000. And all the text was collated by the Royal Armouries, Gunn was the master of the Royal Armouries. And that was my first kind of foray into kind of choral, quasi, semi-classical work really. Although I'd studied it compositionally when I was a student, and that was my first kind of real kind of attempt at it. And that hit the mark as well and became very successful. So that was also pivotal in those two ideas, and then the Armand following it kind of set the tone for what I've done since. So in that sense I was fortunate. All I'd say is, I mean, I just do what you want to do. I mean, stylistically, do what's alien to you, just because people have told me to do it. If you want to write atonal music, fine. If you want to write tuneful, accessible music, then do that as well. The funny thing is, see, tonality is perceived as being a bonus in pop or musical theatre, and it's accepted as, you know, people get their right arm to write a commercial melody within the parameters of those cultures, whereas a contemporary classical is like anathema. You're doing a huge mistake if you write a tune. You know what I mean? So be true to yourself and do what you want to do, let's say.
I like that parallel you're making there. It's very, very true. Oh man, that wonderful piece, we performed it here. We did our own footage and everything with it. And the balance of footage with the piece was a really interesting track for us to do ourselves, try to put some images up with music, which is something we like to pursue here. I know many of the schools out there do. That would be probably your most famous piece?
Most what?
Your most famous piece. Definitely your most performed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's been performed 1,000 times since the premiere, which is 2000. So I think that's about twice a week somewhere in the world since, roughly. And it's been very popular and hit a mark, which is beyond. I mean, even I can see that it's beyond purely musical. It's like the whole philosophy and ethos of the piece, and you know, multinational elements in it, and texts from different cultures. It's about the horrors of war, so it's hit the mark with many people globally. So,
can you imagine that twice a week performed somewhere in the world by big organisation and groups for 10 years? That should get a round of applause.
The most remarkable thing is that it's also written by someone who isn't dead.
He's still alive. He's still alive. And it's performed just as much as Soft Machine. Okay, before we go on to some more questions, do we have some photographs of, I think we have 5 photographs that we're going to count down. I've not seen them yet, but I asked Neil, our wonderful photographer. The photographs you've just seen up there are, you can relax for a minute, there's not going to put you on the spot, I think you have to talk it down for a second so you can have some water over it. The photographs, I asked for 5 quirky photographs of you guys, or maybe even practitioners.
Oh dear.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Adams?
Oh dear.
Let's see what he comes up with. This week, number 5. In at number 4. This festival's number 3. In at number 2. And on the Friday night before the big day, the big concert, this year's number 1 photograph of quirkiness is... Just leave that up for a few minutes, please.
Are you going to do commentary on that?
What happened?
Jet lag. What? Jet lag.
You were here 5 days at this point.
I think you ought to explain what happened.
Yes, he was working on the IB set works late into the evening. I don't lie, I'm Roman Catholic Irish. We have to tell the truth. Okay, so there are top 5 photographs for the moment, but more will follow.
Oh man, what is it?
Oh, here's a nice question from Jackson at Dulwich College, Duag. What has been one of the most memorable performances of your compositions, and why? Or is that too hard to answer as well?
No, it's quite easy actually. It was fairly recently in that I was asked to conduct the Armed Man in New York on the 10th anniversary of 9/11 last year, September, in the Lincoln Center, New York. So that was quite moving, well, very moving and very emotional.
Was it
very memorable.
10th year anniversary?
10th anniversary, yeah.
That would be quite interesting. And what footage did you put up, or did you use footage? Did you for it? Or just perform the piece?
No, just the music. We didn't use the backdrop. There were logistical complications at Lincoln Center because of the space, and apparently they couldn't drop a screen that didn't cover the choir. So they decided to do it without, you know.
About 2 weeks ago, you were performing a new piece as well, when you was
As well, yeah, the Peacemakers. That was January the 16th in Carnegie Hall.
Can you tell us a tiny bit about the piece? Has it been recorded yet? The Peacemakers?
Has it what?
Been recorded yet?
Yeah, it was recorded. It was recorded.
Released?
Released in America, not anywhere else, yeah. Because the premiere was there, so it came out there.
Okay. Can you give us any inside information on it?
Well, it's text from various peacemakers, and not just taken from their sayings, like Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Anne Frank, Mother Teresa, people like that, and it's just quotes from them to do with peace, and it's set the words to music, and it's recorded by the radiophone corps, Berlin Radio Choir. With the CBSO Youth Chorus and the London Symphony Orchestra. Then there is ethnic instruments, lots of different flutes. I got the Gandhi one, there's a Bansuri, an Indian flute used. There's one piece of Celtic Blessing where I used David Spillane on William Pipes.
Yeah,
I think he's coming here soon, isn't he?
March.
David Spillane.
March. Where's Canis? Is Canis here?
So
It's not? Okay.
back here.
Canis, is David Spillane coming in March?
3rd of March.
3rd of March to Forbidden City?
Yes.
Yeah. Canis works Celtic Connection, so Irish, so beat them there you go. Good. There's a lot of other questions here that are quite repetitive, but Karl has just thrown into one comment. I do want to get him back to the hotel. I don't want all of you to go to bed early and be really boring now. But there's one other question I forgot to ask him. No, I didn't ask you to clap or applaud. I didn't ask another question. What day is it today?
Oh, gosh.
What's my birthday? It's what? What is it?
My birthday.
Thank you. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Karl. Jenkin. Happy birthday to you.
Behind you there. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. He's got a blue.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's very kind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. Very kind. Thank you so much, everyone.
We did not forget. We know you're not waiting for home, and it is a pleasure to have you here. Please, before we finish, sorry, you okay?
Sorry? What? No, I did say that it's my wife's birthday yesterday, so it's very but she's not here.
Now, okay, students, please, you will be working with Karl tomorrow. You do need to get some sleep. You do need to rest your voices now. You know this, we've spoken about this at length. You will have ample opportunities to come up and say hello and do that like a touch it. He's real. He's composed. So please, a big round of applause for Karl. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Music. Thank you. Let me just stop the sheet happening, right?
Oh.